Alright guys, these are going to be 20 buildings or locations from the GTA 6 trailer and what they look like in real life. So the first building up here is 1500 Ocean Drive. And this sort of has the same color schemes, the blue and red. And then towards the top you can see those big blue pillars and then the balconies which sort of lean outward. Pretty cool touch. The next up is Royal Palm Hotel. And from this angle it looks like it's one big building, which there's sort of two separate towers, which I'll roll the trailer here forward in a second for you guys to see. But if you see in the middle right corner of the image, you can actually see the tower poking through, so you can kind of see it. There is a gap between these two towers of the building. And then the building next to that is called St. Moritz, which is sort of a couple different buildings in one. It has a yoga studio, a spa, a gym, a bar, maybe a couple of other things. But that's sort of the shorter one here, the third one in. And the last one is called Lowe's, which is another hotel. And if you guys look really closely, you can actually see they have like the glass between the two buildings and stuff. And then if you look at the top with all the windows and the doors, that kind of lines up with how the building looks in real life as well. Alright, so here's what we were talking about earlier. This is 1500 Ocean Drive. This is a Google view from the beach. And I'll show you guys from the road in just a second here, but you can see these balconies sort of angle out towards the top. You got the same blue, red, you got the pillars, all that. But this is the main reason I wanted to show you guys this. You can actually see there is some space between the two buildings, and this one's definitely offset back further. And you got the yellow, kind of the three lines going through. It's sort of at an angle going upward, and this one sort of goes the other way, which you can't really see from this angle. And these two buildings are basically one big hotel. I think they're connected down lower at the bottom. And I also think these are basically one big building. I don't think it's actually connected though, unless there's an underground connection, but I think this is part of this. It has the bar, it has the gym, the yoga studio, the spa, all that kind of stuff. So I believe that's just, this one's just all the rooms, and then this one is all of the other amenities. And then so here is a view of Google Maps. So we were just looking from over here, probably around the 15th Street Guard Tower. But then here's 1500 Ocean Drive. Then this is those two buildings, so you can kind of see there is a little connection here. And it looks like this one has a food place inside, which obviously it's a hotel, would make sense. And then here's the St. Moritz building that we were talking about. It looks like there's a Booyah Water Sports Lowe's Miami Beach Hotel thing, so that's why I think it's part of the Lowe's. I think all of the buildings in here are part of this. But there is no connection between the two buildings other than this little path here, which I'll show you guys that in just a second as well. So here is that pathway. You can kind of see those little glass things I showed you guys earlier. And then so this is the building with the big kind of point on it, although we're so close to it you can't tell. So this looks like the only connection between the two buildings, which, you know, it's covered from any elements, but unless there's an underground path, I think that's it. And then, yeah, obviously you can see they got the Lure Fish Bar. You got Exhale Yoga and Spa. And then this over here is the Royal Palm, but it's too bright. You can't really tell. You can sort of see the circular parts right here at the top, I guess. But there's one that goes this way, and then just around the corner you can just see the edge of the other one. And then here is a different angle. So you can see the yellow of the first one. This one, the upward side goes the other way, and then this one goes this way. You can kind of see the angle of it going up. So that's the Royal Palm. And again, here's the St. Moritz building connected to this one, which you can now sort of see the spike at the top. Here is a little bit further away view. So you can see again the red and blue. Very cool attention to detail. Again, the Royal Palm, this one goes this way, this one's kind of angled up this way, except we're probably a little too close still. Again, you can see these from the picture that I showed you guys earlier. And then here is the point, way up here. The next building is called Brickell on the River, and if you guys pay attention to the balconies, they actually get thicker as they go up, and they do the exact same thing in real life, which is pretty cool. So it's two towers, sort of like some of the previous ones we just talked about. And then the building on the right is called 500 Brickell Condominiums, and it has a big circle cut out in the top, which makes it a pretty easy one to locate. And as you may have guessed, it looks identical in real life. So here is a Google Street View of Brickell on the River. And as I mentioned earlier, the balconies are kind of all the same length, but as you go higher, you get to some wider ones. And it looks like here it goes wider and then thinner and then wider again. And the game just has them go wider all the way up from what I could tell, so Rockstar took a little different take on it. But then if we go around, and I don't know why it's so blurry, but if we turn off to this side, you can actually see here is the building with a big hole in it. Pretty cool. I also thought I would show you guys where we're at on the map. So if you guys are curious, you can look this up yourself if you'd like. So if we go down to Miami Beach and South Beach, basically right above this green part, this is where the buildings we were just looking at are. So right here, these couple here. And then if we zoom in here more on central Miami or by the downtown Miami area, they have Point Brickell. And if we zoom in sort of right by the river here, just south of the river, here is Brickell on the river, which we just looked at, so you can kind of see the outline of the big building and then the other big building and then sort of the parking lot and whatever else is in there. And then here is the building with the big circle cut out behind it. So here is another view from Google Street View. And the other view, we were just down this road to the right here. And the other building, you can just see the top of it poking up here, and that's where we turned around and looked at this. So there's a view of that. And then this is on the other side. The other view we just looked at was just down here looking this way towards it. Now we're just past it. Here it is again. Then we come to this shot here on the beach, which on the left-hand side here, there is a hotel called Hilton Bentley. And the lowest level we can see here is white, and then the three and the roof above it are all yellow, which you guys can actually see that in the picture as well. As you can see from the real life photo, the middle is all glass. It's hard to make out from the game trailer, but you can kind of tell that there is those cutouts going down the middle, which is pretty cool. And we already talked about these ones, but way off in the background you can actually see 1500 Ocean Drive again, and the Royal Palm Hotel, and the Lowe's Hotel. So here is the hotel, Hilton Bentley. And you can also see that there's kind of the white layers, which you couldn't see all of it from the other image. But then you got the three yellow floors and then the roof, which is kind of hard to make out that it's still yellow in this as well. And the location of this one, if we zoom in here on South Beach again, this one's way down at the bottom. So right here, you got the Hilton Bentley Miami South Beach Hotel. We were looking, the picture was taken sort of straight on. And then we were just kind of on this one of these walkway paths looking this way. Here's another shot a little further away. Hilton Bentley, you can easily make that out. You can see the white and then the yellow. So the next one isn't a building but more a area. This is called Wynwood in Miami. And there is lots of buildings with murals and graffiti and all that kind of stuff. Really cool looking place. So here is just a look at a random block. And as you guys can see, they got, you know, the whole wall painted here. You got the wall here. There's all kinds of graffiti along these walls. Up here, everything is like colored in. For this one, if you go to sort of more north Miami, right here you can see Wynwood. And if you just put it into Street View, pretty much anywhere around here, you'll be able to find quite a bit of graffiti and other stuff. So here's an example. You got all kinds of graffiti and paintings and other stuff. Pretty much every building has some sort of paintings and stuff on it. So this is the shot where they are at night, and this is Venetian Isle Condominium. Here is the toll booth you can see in that shot. There is a tennis court just off to the side, but I'll show you guys that here in a second. And then up over here we have another one which is called 1000 Venetian Way. And so this camera is facing the other way. So the last one for the trailer is sort of over here facing towards this direction. But again, here is the two buildings. You can barely make out the toll booth here. So there's a few things that I've noticed that are the same as in real life. So there is a parking lot just to the left of the road. There's a tennis court, which is just to the left of the toll booth. And the toll booth has 4 lanes. There's also a building and a parking lot just off to the right of the toll booth, and that is all the same as well. There is 3 notable hotels in this part of the trailer. The first one is Boardwalk, the second one is Ocean View Hotel, and the third one is Hotel Dixon. So the Boardwalk is actually called Breakwater in real life, and the second hotel is Ocean View, which is actually your first safe house in Vice City. And the third one is called Hotel Victor in real life. So here is what Breakwater looks like during the day. This is Ocean Drive, the main road. And then here is Hotel Victor, again on Ocean Drive. And then this one was kind of ironic. If you guys played Vice City, there was almost always a yellow and white car parked outside the Ocean View Hotel. And this time it's kind of parked by the Breakwater and the Edison, and it looks pretty similar. I just thought it was really, really weird that it was here on this Google map, so kind of something interesting. As for the location on this one, if you zoom in again on South Beach, right by this Art Deco here, is Hotel Breakwater. And if we zoom back out, we go a little bit to the north, across from the 12th Street Lifeguard Tower, we have Hotel Victor. And then we have the Bahia Honda Rail Bridge. And if you see on both sides, there's actually like a cement wall. You can see on the close side, there's kind of a corner. That's all here in real life as well. It gets built up, and then it just kind of ends on the far side as well. The island curves around to the left. A lot of these details are captured in the game, which is really cool. Then for the location on this one, if you zoom in, sort of between Big Pine Key and the state park here, there is a new Honda bridge, and right here is the old rail bridge. It goes across these two. And then here is a view of the bridge. So this is the current bridge. This is the old rail bridge, which you could see in the shot, which the camera must have been somewhere up over here. And you can actually see it's quite deteriorated. It's obviously been out of use for like 50 years or something, but it's kind of cool to see. It looks like they had a railroad and then built a road section or deck on top of it. And then this is further down the road. The last time we were just right here. And this is what the road section looks like where it connects, or I guess it technically doesn't connect, but you can see they kind of have a wall up here, and then the road section goes up and stops. Then here is the island, or key. I guess technically this is in the Florida Keys, which just slowly curves to the left, and you can see it kind of continues on going this direction. So in this shot alone, we were able to make out about 8, possibly 9, I'll explain the possibly here in a second, buildings. So the first one here is the Faina House. The next one up is the W Hotel. And the third one up on the left, which we've actually seen already, is the Lowe's Hotel. Then if we go back to the right, the first one is Murano at Portofino. And then to the left of that is Apogee. To the left of that is Portofino Tower. To the left of that is South Point Tower. And then this is where you get the 8 or 9, because I will show you guys a shot here in a little bit where the two buildings are like in a line going south. So the front one sort of covers up the second one, so I think they're probably both in the shot, but you can't exactly tell. But they are called Continuum South and Continuum North. So we're probably looking at Continuum North. Maybe you can slightly see the south. So this is the Faina House looking in the same direction as the trailer. This shot is the W Hotel looking towards where the trailer is being shot, so the opposite side. Again, this is the Lowe's building, which we've already seen a couple of times. And then here is all those towers. So as you can see, the Continuum South and Continuum North are sort of in a line, and especially if you consider that the angle at which the trailer was shot was a little bit more north and also to the west, making them more in line. And then here is the Faina House, if that's how you say it. So this one's got some pretty distinct sides here, which makes that one kind of easy to spot. And the location of this one is again on Miami Beach. This one's not South Beach, this one's a little bit more north. And if you go sort of straight to the east of Bayshore, it's kind of right here. And this is the parking lot, so Miami Beach parking lot. If we go to Street View again, here it is. And then this is the W Hotel, as you can see by the W here. It also has a pretty unique siding, if you want to call it that, I guess. And then this one again is sort of this one's kind of between Miami Beach or South Beach and Miami Beach. sort of by this big area here. So if you see right here, it says W Hotel. And the last few are very far south on the island by South Beach. If we zoom in here and just go to the side here, so all the way down, we have Murano at Portofino, if that's how you say it. Then here we have Apache Condominium. Then here we have Portofino Tower. And then this building here is South Continuum. And this is the North Tower. And then here is just Continuum. And then here is what that looks like from the road. This one is Murano at Portofino. This is Apogee. This is Portofino Tower. So here is a closer up on Apogee. The other one is just off to the side here, which it's super bright so you can't really see. Again, Portofino Tower right over here. Then here we're at Portofino Tower. The other ones are just down the road right here. If we look up, we can see the other ones. So here's a little step back. You can see it here. So this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this is South Point Tower. This is Continuum. And then this is Continuum North. So these last few are more speculative, so take that as you will. But I think this first one here, which is a really tall tower, it's way taller than all the buildings and stuff even in the background, is the WVTY TV Tower. And here's a picture of that in real life. So here is a picture of that tower, which this is kind of off in the middle of nowhere, but you can see how tall it is. There's another tower kind of next to it, and this one's way taller. And this TV tower is actually located pretty close to Alabama and Georgia. And it's by the town of Bethlehem. So if you look behind the plane on this shot, it has a thing that says 919. It's probably in reference to a club which is called 1111. And here's a real picture of what that looks like. And here is a look around at what that is. As for the 1111 Club that I was showing you guys right here, then we have this shot here, which has a building with a hole in it, which is probably a reference to a building called Atlantis on Brickell. And here is a picture of what that looks like in real life. And then here is the hotel with the hole cut out in it. And then here is the location for Atlantis on Brickell. So this is the building with it. We were just up here. This last one looks to be another reference to a club in Miami called Space Club. And if you look behind the girl, it has that same sort of circular pattern. The really weird thing is this girl in the picture here actually has her hand up kind of like the girl in the trailer. So very odd. And then it kind of has the same sort of curtains and background as well. I probably should have come out with this video sooner, but I've actually been looking for more buildings and spots, so if you guys know of any references which I've missed, which I know I have because I have found a few more, let me know in the comments down below. I know there's some people speculating about the stadium, about the Mud Club, about a couple other places, so if you do see any, let me know and maybe I'll put them in the next video. And then here is Club Space. And the funny thing is, this building was actually in the background on the other 1111 Club. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to watch another video, there's a random video on screen and another playlist. Please be sure to share the video, like it, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications so you're notified when I upload. And until next time, peace.